Hey everyone.
Hey guys, welcome to Obscure MCU. Hopefully you've all had a chance to watch Fantastic Four First Steps this weekend. I just wanted to go over some of my general thoughts about the movie and my theories of where I think things will go based on that crazy post-credit scene. So I'll leave a spoiler alert on the screen before I start getting into some crazy details, but just for my general thoughts so far. Marvel's been on a seriously good run this year. I personally really enjoyed Captain America Brave New World. I love Thunderbolts, and this one was honestly really entertaining as well. And I'm glad they're finally taking advantage of the multiverse saga premise. It's crazy that a whole saga based on the multiverse only has 2 movies not set in the main MCU, but I'm glad that they took full advantage of that, showing us a whole new universe with established heroes. That whole opening montage in the beginning was amazing, seeing their general history, letting us know that these are the characters that we know and love from the comics and from the series and past iterations. And the whole plot with Galactus going after what he wants without getting into major details was really entertaining, and seeing how Reed and all the characters kind of had to come up with a way to prevent that from happening, showcasing their intelligence. So though the plot may have been nothing new, I'm really happy with how they handled the characters, and the character relationships and dynamics was probably one of the best aspects of this movie. Be it the interactions between Johnny and Sue, Reed and Sue, Ben and Johnny, Ben and Reed, all the characters on the team had moments to shine with each other and individually. Like in a lot of iterations, Johnny's usually shown as this hot-headed, immature kid, which he can be, to be fair, but in this one they really showed off his intelligence, him being able to do something for the team that was really beneficial. But relating to the Silver Surfer, I think was great. I wish they gave Ben a bit more to do. I see what they were doing with his personal life, setting up that bit of a relationship. I think the early 2000s movies did that really well, with his whole wife leaving him and finding that one blind woman. But other than that, by far my favorite aspect of this movie was the character work. And even the Silver Surfer as well. I know there was a lot of controversy and people mad about it being a female, Shala Ball, rather than Norrin Rad that we usually follow, but they did a good enough job explaining her backstory and giving her a purpose of being there. And Galactus himself was so intimidating, that whole scene where they meet him for the first time. It kind of gave me similar vibes of the Celestials from Eternals, where it's like this is something on a whole different level that we've never seen before, and him being able to walk through New York and going after his target was really cool. But yeah, overall, without getting into spoilers, there's not really much I can say without revealing too much about the plot. It was a really enjoyable movie. These characters were established really well, and like Thunderbolts, going into Avengers Doomsday, I genuinely care about these characters again. I think that was probably one of my biggest concerns post-Endgame, where I was following the characters, like Spider-Man. Like, I'm obviously a huge Spider-Man fan, but I didn't really genuinely care about seeing what happens to these guys like I did with Steve and Tony and some of the original Avengers. But recently, Marvel's done a really good job about making me genuinely care about these characters again and seeing where they can go in the future. So like I was saying, in Doomsday, following the Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, I'm not just excited for the movie, but I'm really, really excited just to see these characters again and seeing how they evolve and grow from where we see them last. So yeah, overall, I'd give this movie a solid 8 out of 10. And just mainly due to how the characters were handled and how they were presented in the story. Again, they just did a really good job at establishing these guys, even though we've never met them before, showcasing their history and making us genuinely care about who they are, why they're a team, why they're a family, and setting us up for something really exciting in the future. Okay, now for the spoilers, so I can really talk about everything that was on my mind. Huge spoiler alert. 3, 2, 1. Okay. With Franklin basically just being like a god. That was crazy. I'm not too familiar with his origins in the comics. I know he has the twin sister Valeria in most iterations, but in this movie they seem to just be going with Franklin and just establishing his powers as like some type of Omega level superhero was crazy. The fact that he was able to revive Sue after she died was insane. I love the effects of like the purple glow from her eyes and just the way he worked his magic. But the biggest takeaway for me was that post-credit scene. And I just love, even during the movie, when we see those scenes with a world summit with all the countries, we see Latveria just being empty. So you obviously know Doom is out there because Latveria exists in this world. But the fact that he's not there shows you that he's somewhere in the shadows lurking. So my idea is that in the post-credit scene, we know it takes place 4 years after the events of the movie. From Doom's perspective, right? He's just sitting on his throne in Latveria, and then all of a sudden this space god comes down saying he's looking for this child, or he wants this child. So in Doom's mind, he's like, okay, if this huge Galactus celestial being is gonna devour our world due to some baby, this baby must be important. So I love that Doom, obviously in his ways of his scheming and planning, waited till this child was old enough for him to come and maybe manipulate him, most likely kidnap him for whatever his motives may be, leading us into Doomsday, which I think ties into when we see the Fantastic Four arrive in the post-credit scene of Thunderbolts, because most likely Doom's probably going to kidnap Franklin, disappear across the multiverse, and the main four are going to have to journey just to try to track their son and find Franklin again, which will lead them to cross paths with the Avengers. But at the same time, we know that the multiverse is basically collapsing. More and more incursions are happening more often. We know Monica is in that X-Men universe, and the longer that someone is in another universe, the more likely that universe is gonna end up colliding with the other one. Because I think, if you remember in Multiverse of Madness, Reed explained it exactly. I'll put the clip right here.
The larger the footprint you leave behind, the greater the risk of an incursion.
Incursion?
An incursion occurs when the boundary between two universes erodes and they collide, destroying one or both entirely.
So yeah, with Monica in the X-Men universe, the 616 universe that we've been following is on a collision course for an incursion. So with the Fantastic Four hopping over there looking for Franklin, I feel like it's all one big misdirect from Dr. Doom, who's really after Loki and the TVA, who's holding all the multiverse together, which will then result in the creation of Battleworld and Secret Wars. But anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. I love the setup for this, and to be fair on Marvel, because I know a common complaint is that there hasn't been enough setup. If we go back to Avengers 1, we had the individual movies, but they weren't as interconnected as Phase 2 and Phase 3. But the payoff in Avengers 1 was still just as good. So I'm hoping, well, I'm trusting that the Russo brothers know what they're doing with this next one, and I think we're in for a treat. If they're going in the direction I think they're going to go into. But yeah, this was a great movie overall. Definitely great for world building and just setting up the pieces of where I think we're going to be heading to in the future. And yeah, overall, it was just a really enjoyable time. 2025 has been a great year. Even last year with Deadpool and Wolverine, Marvel's kind of been on in this resurgence again, because there's been that whole debate of, oh, Marvel's over, Marvel's back. I think we can safely say Marvel's back, at least in terms of movies. So yeah, those are just my general thoughts and theories on where things can go based on Fantastic Four First Steps. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Did you enjoy the movie? Do you think they handled the characters well? Did you enjoy the plot? And what did you think of how they defeated Galactus as well? Because I thought that was an interesting thing, because you can't exactly kill him. So the way that they resolved that was similar if you played the Lego Marvel game, and which I know a lot of you guys have, so that was a pretty funny way to see how they concluded that whole thing. But yeah, just let me know your thoughts on the movie as a whole, and more videos to come about this universe and the Fantastic Four once it's out on digital. But until then, like and subscribe for more videos coming soon, and thanks for watching.